not going to go away. So that's the bad news from me to you. But the good news is we can take advantage of what's going on in the world and be better people and be taking advantage of the crisis, because whenever there's a crisis, there's always, I always look at the good side of it, right? So rather than getting yourself depressed and say, oh, well, the world is shut down, I had this plan, I had that plan, look at the opportunities that are therein. So for young people, I would say that you already have a smartphone. The fact that you're on this Zoom, I feel like the future of work is within your reach, and you should not just waste it, just put it to random use. Like I always say, turn it into a skill, turn it into an income that can generate for you and add value to your communities, to your society. As Nigerians, if I am doing well, or if I have a skill that earns me a living, I'm sorry, there's a light behind my curtain and it's flashing through the screen. If I have a skill that earns me a living, that means that, you know, the kind of communal spirit that we have as Nigerians or as Africans, as it were, 2-3 more people in our families will benefit from it. So that's why it's important for us to have something doing. So there are lots of digital skills. I want to start with digital skills, for instance. I have a few people that I have employed over the last 5 years to 7 years. I have never met them, but I just collect their salary and walk away. They just do their jobs. So from a graphic designer to a writer to a content curator to a social media manager, these are all digital skills that are therein. And because of COVID, more and more companies are increasing their reach to ensure that they are able to be productive in these times. So I tell people, internet, even if you're a bricklayer, right, your ability to get a Facebook and to advertise your stalls and to say, okay, I have this bricklaying shop here in this point, at that point, you can still sell, because a lot of people are on Facebook. Millions of people are on Facebook. Millions of Nigerians are on Facebook. Take advantage of that market. That's how you should look at it. So while you're looking at millions of people on Facebook, do not forget that millions more and more banks are going to be looking for digital skills. Right now, all the people I have employed, I don't ask them about their certificate. I'm not saying that, you know, just so I'm clear, I'm not saying that certification is wrong. I'm just saying that we have an educational system in the country that does not prepare us for the future of work. And we have to be realistic about that. You can see somebody saying, I met somebody who studied computer sciences at University of Lagos, and there was never a day the university gave him a laptop to even work on. And when he was telling me, I started laughing. So if Unilag, Akoka, that is one of the best universities in the area, is not even equipping its computer science students, imagine the worst of the worst, you know. So clearly, we have to move beyond our limitations. You can't say because the university where I am or the community where I am has refused to give me skill, you won't go over and above to gain additional skill. When we're done with this conversation today, I'm going to send a document to Ndifreke to share to all of you. It's Ivy League colleges around the world where you can study anything you want to study virtually. And guess what? It's free. When we're done with this conversation, I promise I'm going to do that, right? So do not limit yourself and say, oh, I can't do this. You have a smartphone. As long as you have a smartphone in today's world, guess what? You can make a living. So if you cannot write, you can always improve on your writing skills. I used to be a horrible writer, and I think I still am, but I've been trying to at least write so that people can read, you know. Just go over a particular social media. Just try and create content. Just try as much as possible and use the laptop that you're using at home that you're probably playing, and just beyond gisting on Facebook, beyond saying, oh, President Buhari is, you know, is blah, 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 or Governor Ayade is blah, 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 right? Have conversations that at the end of the day, you can go to somebody and say, I can write this, I can put out this. in today's world, nobody really cares about your CV as much as if I say I want to be able to get 2 people to work for me here on this team, I'm going to probably ask Indifreka to send me your digital footprint. So essentially, your digital footprint literally, you know, if I type Oluwakemi Agbara Ojo, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but I'm sure I got Oluwakemi right. You know, if I type your name on Google, I want to be able to see that Google pops up with 2, 3, 4 articles that you've written in the past. So why don't you keep doing that? I mean, it doesn't matter what you write about. I always tell people, it does not matter what you write about. It doesn't matter what you put out. So because the thing about writing is that every day you put in something, every day you file, you pen something down, you better your skill. So if you start writing about the market woman that increased the price of, you know, of pepper in the market today because of COVID, and you're criticizing the market woman and saying, you know what, you guys always say government is bad, but because they announced COVID, you just increase the price for your goods times 1,000 naira. You know, this is something that you bought, you clearly did not buy for that value of money. Then you move beyond that conversation. You start asking government, why is this road like that? Or you start saying, okay, this government has done well in terms of this and that. Then, so when you look at your articles over a period of 6 months, let's say, I'm sorry, I have a little girl at home, so she might be disturbing us. It's okay, I'm coming. Just shut the door. I'm sorry, guys. Don't worry, I'll take it up for you, okay? I'm having a meeting, though. Can you shut the door? I'm coming. Ndifreke, I didn't warn you that I had a kid at home. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. Sorry, so we're all at home, so I'm sure you guys are going to get used to me being disrupted by she's 4, by a 4-year-old. So I hope she has not made me lose my line of thought. So essentially, what was I even trying to say? I was trying to say that building, and I just use writing as, you know, the first point of creating your own skill for the digital economy. And I use that because lots of applications, there's freelancer.com, there are a lot. I can actually look for them and share with you guys where you can earn money without seeing the person who is paying you, without even knowing them. Because all they need to do is to say, I'm sending you this thing to edit. I'm sending you these graphics to design for me. And right now, everybody can be a graphics designer. So the more the skill you have, the better for you to have opportunities to make money. I have not worked for anybody since 2000 and, I mean, I've not done 9 to 5. I wouldn't say I've not worked for anybody. I've done 9 to 5 jobs. Let me get that clear. Since I think 2000 and, is it 14, if I'm not wrong? I think since 2014. You know, I have not woken up in the morning to say, you know, I'm running out to get a job done. I just stay in my house, I just do lots of work, and I get paid. So I tell people, if you can do that, especially women, for the men, I'm sorry, I'm not saying this against you, especially women, if you're a woman and you have a job that can pay you from home, trust me, it's the best deal ever out there. And I'd rather we opt for that. So beyond even writing, then there's being able to curate content for social media. There was a bank, I don't want to call their name, that reached out to me and said they wanted somebody to be able to manage their social media in Lagos. They were paying the person 400,000 naira. They were offering the person an accommodation in Lekki. But I couldn't get somebody to fill that gap. Again, we always say that there are no jobs. But guess what? There are also no skills. So for me, I wouldn't say that the skill I have today, I learned it in any university in Nigeria. I'll be lying to you. I had to unlearn, I had to push myself to a point where I was willing to get people to criticize me. And trust me, I'm not even there yet. I'm still a lot of, you know, mess out there. But I am clearly earning enough to be able to live and, you know, to be able to make an income and whatnot by being able to understand how the digital economy works, how to curate content, the way you even write for, say, First Bank is different from the way you write for, say, the Bridge Foundation, if you're managing their Facebook or their Twitter or their Instagram account. So you should be able to force yourself to learn how this works. So sometimes part of learning does not mean you have to probably be in a Zoom call where a teacher is teaching you. No. I feel like one of the best forms of learning is even when you force yourself to do it. So for instance, if I go to a First Bank, sorry, I'm not working with First Bank. It's not like I'm advertising them or anything. Or I'm not even banking with them, so it's not promo. So for instance, if you go to a First Bank Twitter account, or you go to a First Bank Facebook or an Instagram or Facebook owned by First Bank or any of the banks for that matter, look at how they're talking. Look at the language of words. Look at how they're engaging people. Then you go to maybe World Economic Forum, or you go to World Bank. See how they're engaging. So if you want to say, I want to be the best content curator out there, or content manager for all the organizations in the world, right? I expect you to be able to go through over all of these things I'm mentioning and much more every day. And on your own, put yourself to task to say, okay, today I'm going to curate 5 messaging for a bank for Facebook, for instance. You just pen it down, share it with somebody. Do you think this kind of message can work for a bank? Do you think when you go over that over and over, then you move from Facebook, for instance, and say, I want to curate something for Twitter. Again, Twitter messaging is different from Facebook. We have to always get it clear, because the native for Facebook is not the same as the native for Twitter. Same way for Instagram. Instagram works with pictures, but in as much as Instagram work with pictures, I don't advise people to write a long blog post for Instagram because it takes away the fun of it. Give me a picture that tells lots of stories and probably a sentence or two. I'm fine with that, you know. But you have to also understand that as a manager, you need to know how to engage. There are people that are needing people that are going to build websites for them. Go and start telling yourself, am I learning this skill? Do I have it? How can I improve on it to be a better person? Or how can I improve on it to stand out in my field? Again, I repeat, you don't have to walk into the 4 walls of any university. The fact that you have a laptop, or the fact that you have a gadget, or the fact that you have a smartphone, and I want to believe that the fact that we're all on Zoom anyway, shows that we're all digital people, and we're up mobile. So that 200 megawatts of internet that you have, is it megawatt they call it? No, I'm wrong.
Megabyte.
That's 200 gigs. Okay, yeah, that's 200 gig or 500 gig that you buy from MTN, that you just waste it to just I want to check if my friend on Facebook is married. I want to check the other one that is dating the other one. I'm not saying it's not good to just look at our friends. I'm serious. But you ask yourself at the end of the day or at the end of the week, how much have I done to better my skill? What have I done to better my skill this period? Because right now, realistically, we are in a digital economy. So it is only people that are skilled for that economy that are able to function in it. I give you another instance. I'm trying to talk to somebody in a Nigerian bank to help me do some, transaction. And, he said, Mercy, you have to be in Nigeria to be able to do it. I'm like, dude, why am I in Nigeria to do this thing? That is so easy. So I have to be there to sign this and sign that. Even as a country, there are a lot of things we need to start doing now because of COVID. The bank where I bank in Germany, I don't even know what the building looks like. I have never been there. I just called them and said I wanted to open a bank account with them. And they said, okay, you talk to our blah, 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 blah. And I got in touch with the blah, 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 blah. Of course, customer service. I'm sorry, I'm using a lot of blah, blahs. Customer service. And customer service said, can we have your ID? The same way I'm looking at you via this Zoom, that's how customer service said, let's see your ID. I showed them via Zoom. They captured it. They captured every documentation they needed to capture. Guess what? I had my bank account open. All the cards were delivered to my apartment. This is the kind of economy that even Nigerian banks need to work towards. Sorry, if I'm speaking too fast, please stop me. I speak too fast. It's also a problem. And if you have questions at every point or at any point, you're willing, I'm happy to take in questions. You know, so this is a place where I need to be. I don't know where this bank is as I speak to you. I don't know what their office looks like. I don't care because I don't have the time to even go to their office. So why would I be dealing with a Nigerian bank that is telling me to buy a ticket from Germany and start looking for how to fly over to Niger just because I want to sign one signature? I mean, I know that they are going to change after COVID, but realistically, we all have to. So there's need for this level of overhaul of how we do things. I just said here that I have worked with somebody. There's a guy called Perkins. You can check him up on Twitter. I have worked with Perkins for the past 7 or 8 years. He lives in London, right? I don't even need to see him. I don't even need to know him. There are 5 people I'm working with right now. I don't know them, but they collect their salaries. I see their jobs virtually, and I'm like, okay, job is done. Take your salary, get paid. Employment letters issued virtually. So all of these physical meetings, you know, we're already having, I mean, I am in Calabar right now, all the way from Berlin. We're already having a virtual meeting because of COVID. So we have to be able to try as much as possible to be part of that digital economy so that we are employable. Because that way, imagine, for instance, that you know how to curate content for brands, and you also know how to, there's this one that I've been very useless at, graphics, yes. You also know how to, you're a graphics designer. And honestly, from what I have seen, being a graphics designer is something you can learn within a day. Just sit down and keep trying it and going over and over and over and over again, and you're done. You can also be a voiceover artist and not meet anybody. Hello, welcome to the Bridge Institute, blah, 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 blah. That thing that people do, right? All you need to do is to get your script right, or send someone to give you the script. Maybe via your WhatsApp, you do the voiceover, you make sure that there's no noise entering, then you send. So imagine you have 5 clients that are wishing to have your voice to promote their activities, to promote their brands, you know? And how do you even start, for instance? I always tell people, you don't always sit back and say, I don't have this job because I keep moving around and looking for it. Sometimes you push. There's a guy that just joined my team last week. I never knew I was going to employ him until last week because I don't think I was even needing somebody that much. But he sent me something that he wrote, you know, and he said, I need you to tell, you know, then I sent it to the guy who manages one of our platforms. And I said, this guy is really good. I really like how he writes. Can we employ him? And as of today, he already has a job. So before you even approach somebody to say, this is my CV, first thing first, approach them with what you can do. Let's keep away the CV on the side. We're not saying you didn't go to school. We're not saying you do not have your master's, right? We're not saying you're not a first class student. But guess what? Your first class, your PhD, your master's, or whatever, you know? So people judge that. So it's really more competitive right now. And just so that I can go to the next point, because of COVID, there's going to be need for more skills around the digital economy. They're going to be, should I check for questions? Okay. There's going to be more need for more skills because of the digital economy. And also there are going to be much more people looking for jobs. The current private sector in Nigeria now is going to lay off a lot of people, right? So be prepared that you're going into the market where you're going to be competing with other people that need these jobs that are also better skilled. So it's better to come to the table with more value. So imagine that right now I need somebody who is competent at producing, how do they call this now? Sorry, I've forgotten. But I know there's graphics in it as well, but imagery, where they create, how do I put this? Probably when I remember, I'll add that up. So when you know how to create content, you're a graphic designer, you know how to upload via website. Can I ask a question? How many of us on this Zoom can upload content on websites? Please, if you want to answer, I need you to have your camera on so I can see your face and I can call your name. Thank you. Hello, am I talking to myself?
No, we are here.
So how many of us on this Zoom can upload content on websites?
You want them to answer voice by saying it or by indicating in the chat? Which one?
By voice, please.
Okay.
By voice and video.
Oh, by voice and video. Oh, okay. So maybe you want to unmute everyone because we had to put everyone on mute because of the noise, the background.
So anybody who is answering at a particular time should unmute themselves.
Okay.
If that's fine.
All right. Okay. I, for one, I know I can do that. So let me start with myself. I know I can do that.
Okay.
So
who else apart from Indifreke, who is biased?
Well, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Sorry, what's your name? I didn't get your name.
Okay, I am Biodun.
Hi, Biodun. Nice to meet you.
Yes. It's nice to meet you too.
So beyond uploading for website, what else do you do?
Biodun, that's directed to you. So go ahead. Okay.
I do graphics design.
That's
I
good.
do social.
Okay, Biodun, thank you so much for your time. And I mean, before I ask another person who sort of has this skill, so from what Biodun has said now, if I'm going to walk out of this meeting and I'm going to probably give somebody a virtual job, I'll call Biodun, right? To go to Biodun, I'm going to say, if different, please, can I have Biodun's contact? If he has time, there are jobs available for him, and I need him to do that. But yes, who else?
Okay, we have George Honora raising up his hand.
Okay, hi George, can I see your face?
This may be a little problem. Hi. I'm having a little bit of a challenge.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I have a little bit of a challenge, yes, so I'm kind of indisposed. So I'm not properly dressed and all.
Okay, sorry,
just speak. Okay, great. Yeah, so one of the things that I do, I actually upload content on websites, yeah, voiceovers, that's two. I do different kinds of write-up because I have a background in theater and film studies, so that's from radio dramas, from scripts, and all of those things. I pretty much do all of them, yeah. And a lot
There's a bit of noise in your end.
Yes. Okay, did you hear what I said?
Repeat that?
Okay, so I said I write. I have a background in theater and film studies. So I do write for radio, TV, and of course, movies, short scripts, and all of that. Then, of course, I also do voiceovers because I work on the radio, so I do voiceovers as well. And yeah, and quite a lot of other things as well that I do. And yes, of course, like you were asking, I also upload content on websites as well because of my writing background.
That's very good, Mr. George. One of the things I probably want to also mention is that there's noise. I don't know where to.
Okay, George,
Okay, I'll mute.
Can we mute
I'll
George
mute
now? Let's mute George now.
George, can you mute?
Okay.
Okay, good. So part of the things I want to ask you to do is, it's brilliant that you do voiceovers. So for me, one of the giveaway is just randomly do voiceovers and share them, right? Share them on channels where conversations around that or even not related, because those are the things that eventually get you these jobs. I probably know that you have lots of them, but it doesn't hurt to have more, right? And you clearly do have the skill for for the economy of the future. So you can now aim for more. You can now sign up to, Ndi Freka, please remind me to share the international platforms where they can get more jobs when we're done,
fine.
so I don't forget. Yeah. So you can now go to all those portals, sign up your name, sign up your details, and earn money. There's a guy I know who makes about $20,000 monthly from staying in his bed. He does graphics, he does designs, he does branding, he does what else does he do? So he just registers on all of these platforms that I just mentioned. This boy is a Lagos boy, so it's not like he's somebody in Yankee or Jand. No, he's in Nigeria. He makes a lot of money. He makes a lot of money. So me, I am more excited about the economy of the future, the digital economy, because it gives us opportunity to make much more. So that means, so the fact that you do voiceovers, right? It shows that, I don't know if you know John Boyega on Twitter. Of course, he's not on Twitter. He's a British actor. He published a video. Yeah, he published something yesterday or day before yesterday around COVID and how the barbers are important to COVID. And it was a beautiful work of art. So he just published it.
Barbers, okay, yes.
Just that he can encourage people those that are barbing that they never appreciated before now. Somebody went, didn't tell him, curated that same content and reproduced it in Yoruba. Guess what? He heard that and it gave him an opportunity. So I always tell people, always go to probably Twitter, timelines, Facebook, always go there and throw your job there. Just throw it there. Just make sure as you're putting that in, have your contact or your email there. You never can tell who is going to be looking at it and who is going to be reaching out to you. It always works like magic. It works all the time. So beyond just having conversations with people, you just know that I'm going to be in this space, I'm going to be in that space, just so that people share a lot of viral content on WhatsApp. George, I want you to be able to produce a voiceover, a random voiceover about something that you think is important. Even it could be about COVID, and just share it on a WhatsApp group. Guess what? You don't know how far your voice will go. And someone else taking your job. I always advise people, at least if you can't put your phone number there, have your email there in the work that you're sharing. Because that way somebody is going to get in touch with you and say, you know what, I love that thing that you did. But randomly you just did it like, you know what, I'm bored, I just want to do something fun. But you ended up doing something that could give you jobs and opportunities, you know? So for those of us that, and I like the idea around publishing content, because as simple as it sounds, a lot of us still do not know it. So for me, one of my major assignments for everybody here is, if there's the only one thing you want to do at the end of this meeting is to go home and start learning how to publish their blogs. Please, I can go on my knees for you. Go and do it. Just know how to publish a content. Please, just do it. And there are lots and lots. You can just go to YouTube, study it. I mean, there are lots of people to help. You can talk to someone who is here, who does it, and say, can you give me the lead? Just open a blog, just drop anything there. Keep learning how to do it. Because I'm not saying what is not to be. Right now, that is the job that everybody is getting. You can work for companies in London, you can work for companies in the UK, you can work for companies in Lagos, you can work for companies in Abuja, you can work for companies in Calabar, you can work for companies in Port Harcourt, just by staying in your bed, watching CNN. Of course, maybe you will not be watching because I don't think I've turned on my TV for almost forever. You'll be working, but there's no job that is as good as the one that you just earn your living in the comfort of your space. And right now, it has been heightened because of COVID. Do we have questions, please?
Okay, Mercy. So yeah, just to broaden the conversation a bit, but before that, I think I see Aruk raising her hands. I don't know if she's still here. Aruk, are you still there? You can unmute your mic and make a comment. Hello, Aruk. Okay, I think
I'm not sure I heard you correctly.
Okay, no, Aruk, I think Mercy can, okay, Aruk, you're still there. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. I think you have your hands raised. I don't know if it's a question.
Okay, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, Aruk.
I'm here. Okay, I was raising my hands when she asked for those who can upload content.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes,
okay.
I recently just learned how to build a blog, so I did one.
Oh,
I'm still working on finishing touches so that I can upload content.
That's good, Aruk. I'm happy to hear that. Please, when you better your skill, let me know. Okay, I might probably have a job for you.
Okay, so that's
just so the men don't think I'm biased.
That's a job waiting for you. No. I think you already contacted Biodun. Biodun is a guy, so it's not a bias. Don't worry. Okay, so Mercy, I like the fact that we're starting this conversation addressing ourselves as individuals that are part of this conversation, talking about skills, talking about the future of work, and all of that. But I don't know if we can just broaden the conversation a bit. I mean, Nigeria is a population of about 200 million people. Out of that population, 70 to 80% of them are young people, all right? And out of this 70 to 80%, we have another, at least according to latest report, about between 10 to 13 million people that are out of school. And then we have people that are in school that are not, probably equipping them with the skills that they need to actually engage the economy of today. And we have them in their numbers. Take, for instance, organizations like ours, we intervene in sectors like education, trying to provide alternative education that we think that will better the outcomes of children and youth these days and all of that. But nobody thought that, COVID-19 was just around the corner. So all of a sudden, we are dealt with COVID-19. I can tell you that even at an organizational level, we are trying to have a series of brainstorming sessions. How can for instance, how can we reach out to the children that we usually would go to their school to, offer education to and offer skills to and offer these things to? Because we are talking about people who don't have access to internet. We're talking about people that probably have not seen, what an iPhone or a smartphone looks like, and then in our public schools also, we have children. In fact, each day I wake up and I walk just down my street is a challenge. Children are out of school and you're thinking of, okay, I can't gather them because there's an order that says you should not gather more than 20, beyond 20 and all of that. And even if you gather them, you need to basically begin to teach them, how to use these devices and all of that. So education sector has been hit drastically as far as Nigeria is concerned. And because of the method of our teaching and all of that, it's a challenge on how we can immediately, begin to intervene in these situations. Again, like I said, a lot of people, have, live to day-to-day jobs. Even the essential commodities that are allowed to thrive even during the lockdowns, they are also struggling. Because yes, I sell essential commodities, but because of COVID-19, prices of things are kicking up. Some things are becoming scarce. And then those of you that are working in the corporate space, either for one reason or the other, you're told to let go and all these things. Put all of these things into consideration, and and just give me your own thought or your own response. How do you think, beyond us as individuals, we can begin to respond as a community of people, to address this issue, or as an organization, for instance, the Brit Leadership Foundation, that intervenes, with young people that a huge of them are in the education space who don't have access to internet, have not interfered with these things before, and we can't reach them remotely, at least for now. We are still looking for how to do that. And then we have a lot of organizations like that. We have a lot of communities that are just, cut out. How do you think, looking at the impact of this, how do you think we can respond as a people? Maybe not necessarily as individuals now, because like you said, all of us here, we probably have our smartphones, and we will be acting on the key points you've shared with us. But beyond that, how do we take it a step further to ensure that that community, that neighborhood, just beside me, that don't have the luxury of all these things, can fend for themselves? Families are dying. I mean, people are losing their minds and all these things. How can we respond in that direction? If you can just do that in a bit.
You're asking me a question like I'm Buhari or Ayade.
No. I just need your thoughts on these things. I mean, these are the real situations we are dealing with. We are talking about rethinking our social economy,
I agree. I agree, but I just needed to remind you that, Mercy is just Mercy, the girl next door. Yeah, anyway, yeah. Just to respond to a bit of, because a lot, so I don't know if I'm getting everything that you pointed out. Let's start with our community and our response to the crisis. One of the things that we need to get familiar with is that we're all dealing with this crisis. I understand that. Is everybody here in Cross River State?
No, we have people from across town.
Oh, that's good. Oh, okay. I thought it was across. Okay, thank you for that. I wanted to say something different, but yeah, thanks for that. We're all dealing with the lockdown differently. So our responses, wouldn't be the same. I stay in a country where initially they say, you know what, just stay indoors, don't go near old people. It's something. Germans really get old. And for me, one of the first concerns was how about coronavirus or anything like that, So as a community and as a people, first let me start with as a community. It's something that is a shock it will remain a shock to our institution. Recall, even President Buhari has had to say that let's start working towards a digital economy, right? All the MDAs, the ministries, the departments, and the agencies are now trying to rejig their plans to say, these are people that should have spent all the last 5-10 years to train civil servants. Now they're now seeing that, damn it, we've messed up, right? So even as a government, yes, we're going to receive it as a shock. We're going to be receiving it as something that we're not familiar with, something we don't know. But how do we even start? By first and foremost, adhering to some of the things that the health workers are saying. Let's use our face mask. Let's reach out as much as we can. Let's be there, for people who are unable to get access to certain needs, for the elderly amongst us. If you're in a community, for instance, and you know that there are older people within that community, within that cluster, I want to be able to walk up to them and say, do you need something? Can I have something and give to you? Can I also do it in a way that protects me and probably keep it at your doorstep, and in a way that protects me and you, from this. And overall, take out the lessons from it, because if the World Health Organization is saying that this thing is not going to go away, then that means that an institute needs to fully go digital. I'm not even mind saying what's about this. While they're going digital, they also know that we have to have a team of workers that are going to be working virtually. So if we have anybody within our team who doesn't understand, who doesn't have virtual skills, we train them to be able to have that virtual skill, because your job schedule is going to require that. Okay. We're going to be having summits that eventually we're all going to come out, because hey, if it's going to last forever, then we can't all stay indoors and lock ourselves indoors, right? But in the interim, what can we do to be able to still continue our operations and plan in a way that if we're planning for say, so if I have a company now and we're planning for year 2022, in my plan, in our calendar for the year, I'm going to make sure that every line item, whether we meet physically or we don't meet physically, there's a meeting. So it has to be, it has to be there. It has to be incorporated into everything that we do. So that means everybody who is supposed to be part of that meeting can say, oh, I don't know how Zoom works, or I don't know how Facebook Live works. Also, to make sure that everybody has that skill as a company, as a government, same thing does apply. So how are governments in other countries doing it? Applies almost everything. The point where I have to start picking up one file from one ministry to take it to another ministry or another agency needs to stop. And the time for it to stop is now. If people are going to buy Cloudflare to put all their documents for their website or to access archives, to access academic journals, you have to go to most libraries. There's request. Some of them you have to pay, or your institution has to pay. So if a University of Calabar is asking me this question now to say, how will students access our library? I'm like, dude, you better go online. All the universities in the world are now digital. So move your library online, make it digital. So you get access into your library using your matric number as a student, correct? So we can't keep saying that we have to have for school to function. We can't keep saying that. We now have to start saying, what were we doing before that wasn't sustained from the university to now, if or helping the crèche to understand a certain level of education or whatever intervention you do with your advocacy, is to now say, do we have a cluster that can work in the interim where people are going to ensure they adhere to social distancing, put everybody in a particular hall, use a Zoom to do our learning, go back to our learning methods for those that do not know it yet, because we cannot force everybody into this digital economy as if we are choking them with pounded yam when they can't swallow, right? So we have to take it easy for those who do not know it and manage the process as it should. So if you have students that you're teaching and you know that you have 5 to 50 students that do not know how to get on Zoom or how to, even use their mobile phones, because sometimes I think that we are underusing our mobile phones, our mobile devices. What I'll do in that situation is to be able to identify somebody at the bridge who does the coordination and say, okay, let's use this screen. Let's all connect to this screen. Let's stay in this hall. If this hall was carrying about 500 people, because we are now all social distancing, we have to go for 5,000. We have to give ourselves spaces. We have to wear our face masks, right? We have to be in the same space just so that we can study, we can learn. I mean, this is just my, my off thoughts intervention. But while we're doing that, we're not losing sight of the fact that we need to train everybody who is within this cluster so that they know what we are doing, and within the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, they are able to do it. For those that are dealing with it mentally, this is a time to talk to therapists to be able to deal with it, because people are going to be dealing with this crisis differently. Some people have been forced to be locked up with people that are either their abusers. Reach out to agencies that are responsible for that and see what, because I spoke to, I think last week I was on the phone with the country director, International Amnesty International, yes. And I also spoke to the chairman of National Human Rights Commission. And this was one of the things I was talking to them about. And I said, there are lots of issues of gender-based violence in Nigeria right now. What are the interventions? Do you have shelter? If you have shelter, can somebody just call you and say, you know what, this is happening to me in this house where I'm staying. Can I have a place where you can rehabilitate me? So I want to believe that in all the states capital where we are, any intervention at all that can work, we have to put it to use. because it's not the best of times. I always say that this is World War without arms or without guns, but we have to find a way to be able to live in the times that we are until things get back to normal. I don't know if I responded to your question differently.
That's fine. Yeah. Again, like I said, I just needed your own thoughts and your own line of thinking in that direction, which I think we have. Okay, so I don't know if we have questions from our participant, from our audience, and anyone with a question. Just before we go ahead, just take the last phase so that Mercy can respond before she gets back to other things. Anyone with a question? I see some of you that are just joining in. Udeme, Emmanuel, and Co. I hope you catch up. But you can always, this video will be made available on one of our online platforms, which we'll share with everyone, just so that you can listen again. But just in the meantime, any questions, any thoughts, any contributions you think we should throw more light on within the scope of what we are looking at? I mean, we're just looking at the effects. Or probably you want to tell us how it's impacting you where you are. I want to draw something from what you're feeling or how is affecting the community where you are there, and you want us to respond to one or two things that you think can probably help those there. I saw Gifty with us before. Gifty, are you still here? If you're here, you probably want to tell us what the situation is in your own side, talking about the impact and the challenges, so that we can also look at, we can probably learn a thing or two from your end. Yeah, Mercy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were asking about impact. So for me, I think I have been in isolation longer than the rest of you, because Nigeria just started isolation now. Our isolation started, was it late February?
Okay.
About that. So I've been in isolation for about 3 months now. So first there's anxiety, right? The one that you feel like, oh my God, the world is about to come to an end. And when you keep reading news, you keep seeing this, CNN is saying this thing is going to consume everybody, and you're like, oh my God, I want to freak out. Okay. So there's that point where you feel like, actually there was a point where I felt like the world was about to end. I'm not sounding stupid, but I'm serious, right? Okay. So you go through that fear, you go through all the stages. I have gone through all the stages. I want to say that. And I'm at a stage where I'm now smiling, like, this thing just scared the hell out of me. Then you go to a point where you have to literally turn to an OCD person, where everybody you're watching it. You wash your hands, you wash your face, you go out, you wash your feet. Guess what? I used to wash my mobile phones. I mean, I still do that. And I think we should still keep doing that. I used to wash my mobile phones, my keys, everything is being washed. When I go out, I don't bring I used to take off my jacket. Then it was really, really cold. Now it's not so cold. I used to take off my jacket and just go turn on whatever they said, it's green light. I just turn on the heater and just dump my jacket on the heater just so that it can kill the virus or whatever it is that, is out there. But again, it was more of paranoia from my end as well. But again, we're all going to go through that process. But more importantly, I think this is an important time for us to reach out to people virtually. If we're living alone, it's important to reach out to friends virtually. If we're not living alone, we're living with families, it's a time for us to be a family, is to pick out those areas where we kept ignoring and chasing life, chasing work, chasing other things, and focus on the things that matter. But to be able to be sane in these periods, jump out there, stay busy. Good, you could just go out and just, if you're in a community where they're not telling you that you can't go out, just take a long walk back home, so you don't drown in the thoughts of it all. But importantly, try as much as possible to use this period and better your skills. Challenge yourself for what you do not know, and tell yourself, I want to be able to be the best at this, and yes, and don't think too much. It's not worth it. And avoid the news as much as you can, because the news will get you more depressed.
Mercy, you're telling us to avoid the news. How would we know if there's a cure and I'm not aware about it?
No, I mean, because we consume too much, right? Okay. We consume too much news. maybe I'm also speaking from my own point of view. In a day, I can consume more than 100,000 words in my head. So if you're not careful, you just run mad. So I consume maybe, because I keep reading them, I keep seeing, so before I see this link, I click, I read. So if I had to at some point say, you know what, sometimes I will not read these things. I'll just see the headlines. We all, trust me, whether we read or not, we all consume news, because somebody is sending something to your WhatsApp. Your Facebook is hitting with another information. Your Twitter has another information. Your Instagram. So we are all like, they're choking us with information. There's information overload. So you have to, at some point, step aside from that overload and say, I need to control what I consume.
Yeah. Okay. I get you.
Mental
All right.
health.
I think we have some questions here. Okay. I understand you now. Yeah. We have some questions which I think you will just throw some light to before you give us your final thought. Olawale Babatunde is asking, he said, I have a question. Which website or handle do you think we can harness looking at how we have equipped ourselves during this lockdown? I don't know if that's clear enough. Which website or handle do you think we can harness looking at how we have equipped ourselves during this lockdown? Olawale, are you here?
I'm going to send you the link to that, to the Ivy League universities across the world where they teach virtually. That's one, because that's very important. Any course at all you want to study for free, I'm going to send it to you in different. That's one. People always say Google is your friend, but they're not lying. Google is actually a good friend, because really, literally nothing, no skill you want to learn that you can't even go to. Sometimes, so all my gadgets I know how to I forget about munch. If I want to munch this screen now on my laptop, I'm like, how do I munch on my laptop? Then I just go to Google, I'm like, how do you munch on Mac laptop? And Google just answers it and tells me what to do. As simple as that, right? I run to Google for the very basic of things. But yes, I'm going to share that details across. But trust me, as long as you have the internet, just go online and ask about, what was the question about again? Virtual skills. Just go online, you write out the virtual skills that you see. I think there was a link on World Economic Forum that listed about 20 to 50 virtual skills. Write them down and tell yourself, because again, you and I know that you know the things that you can be good at. I can be telling you what to be good at, but you're like, nah, on this one I can't do that. On that one I can do it. So I'd rather you stick to what you can do, right? Because that way, when you stick to what you can do, you improve on it. Some people are more technical than they are more in terms of content curation. Others are better in content curation, that they're better in technical, issues like probably building a website, because it takes a lot. Dude, I tried that website business. I'm like, damn, I can't do it. I just needed to learn the skill just so that I had a ball. I just knew that it wasn't my thing. But again, I needed to. I advise that whenever you're picking out skills to learn more on, stick to the skills that you feel like, and you genuinely know that this is your thing. This is the kind of thing that you like to do.
Okay. All right. I think you want to take the question from Emmanuel also. Emmanuel is talking about, he said, you talked about freelancing and freelancing side. There's a challenge most Nigerians face as freelancers. Foreigners tend to be given jobs more than Nigerians. I see freelancers who are not as good as me get more jobs, all because they are non-Africans. What can we do about this? What would be your own take?
So Emmanuel, what you can do about that is to be able to be better in, how do I say this? Being Nigerian is already a terrible thing for you, right? Because how do I put this? The brand outside is bad. It's bad because Nigerians have done shitty things for other people, so other people naturally just rub it off you. And it's not because we're the worst people on. I don't ever believe that. It's just because we're Nigerian and we're Africans and we're an underdeveloped country. Because there are countries where their people do terrible things, but they are world powers, and nobody uses it to tag them and say, I can name the number of Americans that have single-handedly done things stolen from the world that led to economic crisis. But nobody says Americans can't get this because they're Americans. Well, they're world power, so you can't tell them anything, right? So the tides are against us. So what I do is, let me even give an instance with the country where I live. I used to tell people that even when I know that my ticket to the other end, so I normally buy a monthly train ticket. So when my ticket is exhausted, I make sure I get the ticket before I jump on the next train. But guess what? I could be in the train for the next 1 month in this country, and those guys that stop people at the train, I will just see them once, or I will not see them at all. But there are a lot of Nigerians that come to this place and just use the train and say, it's free, job. It's not free. You're supposed to pay. So for me, I tell myself that. I tell people that say, oh, but you buy monthly ticket. Today it just expired, and you're going to buy another one. Why are you even bothering to buy? I'm like, I have to buy because I don't want to be the bad brand for Nigeria or for the next Nigerian who comes here. So I want to be as simple as that. I want to be the good brand. So for these people to keep buying these tickets or to keep managing these trains, to give us the best trains to use in this country, the least I can do is to buy the train tickets. I don't want it to be on any record that Mercy got into this country and there was a time that she didn't buy train ticket. I mean, it sounds very easy, it sounds very cheap. I mean, train ticket is just €2, right? But I take it seriously. I don't joke with it. So to answer Emmanuel's questions, it's not everybody who does that. It's not everybody who thinks that it's an important thing. Some people, they've gone to this site that you talk about and they've gotten jobs and they just walk away, or, they were not ready to deliver on it. So that also has given us a negative brand. There are some sites you want to do certain things. If you want to sign up on PayPal, I think, if you use your Nigerian IP, you can't. I'm Nigerian, I'm on PayPal, but I had to be in this country to join PayPal. So these are the setbacks that we're going to be dealing with. So when you come to the table as a Nigerian, come with double integrity to the table. So make sure that if you're doing a job, try as much as possible to do it much better and to tell the person, you know what, you can even take discount for this, I'll give you this, and I'll deliver on time. Don't just let it go. You commit to time, you keep to it. When you commit to deliverables, you keep to it. When you commit to anything, you keep to it. That way, it also helps for future jobs to come. But do not worry, I'm going to send more of those site links to Indy Freke, and it's going to share it across to you. But trust me, in as much as the problems are there are other sites that admit Nigerians. It's not all. But I get your point.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mercy. I think that's all the questions from my own end. I don't know if there are people that still want to ask. We are wrapping up this series, this particular session with Mercy in the next 3 to 5 minutes. So if you have any other question that you think you want to probably say it, ask it yourself, you can just indicate, unmute your mic and do that right now, or we'll allow Mercy have a final wrap thought and then we'll call it a day. What about the question from Mokure? They talked about virtual skills. Okay, talking about virtual skills, for some of us without virtual skills present on this forum today, is there any plan for us? What's your advice to us? I think she just addressed that. Use Google. Google is your friend. Yeah, look for the 1,001 virtual skills. So just go to Google in as much as you have access to a smartphone, your laptop or something, and then look at the skill that you think will be of interest to you, and voila, you can just begin to learn from there. So I think she already addressed that. I guess, Mercy, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I could just add something to her.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Omokorede, one of the things I need you to do after this call is to just go and type on Google and say top 20 virtual skills, right? Something will come up. Click on that thing, write it down, identify the ones that you think you want to learn. Even if it is 5, even if it is 3, even if it is just 1, write it down. Then when you write it down, you start telling yourself that this thing, I must learn it. Every day you go and check a YouTube video that is talking about it. Read a link that is talking about it. Read how it's done, and do it consistently. And also, when you're done with your normal session on your own, you give yourself assignments to try, and you improve on it. So I think literally that's it, yeah.
Thank you so very much. Okay, so your parting thought, Mercy. Yeah, again, like you said,
I want to.
you want what?
I want to be able to meet everybody one-on-one at some point, and I want to be able to know that beyond physical meetings, sometimes we can all be ready for the digital economy. And whenever anybody needs anything, any help, any advice, I am all over the place. But please reach out to me. I'll be willing to help.
Okay, thank you very much. One last question is coming in. I don't know if that's apart from accessing or learning a lot of skills through digital means. How do we help school adolescents, for instance, who do not have such access? I think I talked about this and you responded to be able to readjust to academic learning after the lockdown. Do you have any other thing to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I did say that we were not going to force everybody to just learn immediately. We're going to manage them through the process. And I used the bridge, for instance, to say that if you have a cluster of people that need to learn, put them together, have one staff team or two, be there, open up the Zoom in a screen and show them and teach them whatever curriculum you need to teach them just so that they can learn. I think I did pointed that out through the process rather than forcing everybody. As a matter of fact, it's not everybody that has the resources to buy internet, if we're being realistic.
Yes.
You know, so we have to literally adopt this certain level of people as well. But we're dealing with a country with about 80 million extremely poor people, not just poor, extremely. So when they say somebody is poor, it's a different conversation. When they now add extreme, it's worse. So is this somebody who is poor who will be thinking about data, you know? So that means that if we want to still continue having these conversations with people, we want to keep having them learn, we should be able to agree on a place where they can learn, that is conducive, that is safe, while adhering to NCDC guidelines.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much. I think that will be all. My colleague is trying to let me know that some people have their hands up. Okay, Mokorede, you still have your hands up. Okay, unmute your mic and just speak to us. If you can do that in 1 minute, please. Mokorede, just unmute your mic and speak to us directly. Mokorede, if you can hear me, unmute your mic and just speak to us directly. Yeah, I see your hand. Can you just unmute your mic and speak to us? Quickly. Okay. Are you changing your mind? Okay, Emmanuel, Udeme Emmanuel, let's hear you. Unmute your mic and speak to us quickly. Udeme, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Udeme. I can hear you.
Okay, good evening all.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Udeme Emmanuel. Actually, I saw a link on one of my friends' WhatsApp update, so I had to join for the meeting.
Oh,
sorry.
But, yeah, yes, I saw it at Oluwakemi's WhatsApp status. Oluwakemi.
Oh, Kemi, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, so all right. Well, I love what I've heard so far today and the great mind I've seen so far. I'm also happy. Well, as a result of this COVID-19, actually, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here in Dubai.
You're in Dubai?
I'm stuck here in Dubai. Yes, I'm stuck here in Dubai. After my service here in Nigeria, after my service here, March, I traveled to Dubai for a little business, which I did for 6 months. And I now booked my flight to come back to Nigeria before this whole issue started. So I'm stuck here in Dubai, and I have a family, like my parents and siblings, not that I'm married, at home. And I also have a business that I'm running at home. So this whole issue, I'm just tired, but all on God, we are just coping. So
I'm happy you're alive.
Yes. I'm alive, and I see my daily bread every day. So I'm happy also.
Good to see you, Emmanuel.
Good to see you.
But
too.
I hope you're in touch with your family and they are doing well and they are not too worried about you.
Yeah. My parents and my siblings, they are all okay. And my boys at the shop, they are also okay.
Okay.
Well done.
Right. That's fine. Good to know. Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Omokorede, are you ready to talk to us now, or we'll just call it a day? Okay. So, Omokorede, sorry if you're having challenges. Okay, so go ahead, Omokorede.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
I've done that.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead.
Okay, it's my first time being on Zoom. Sorry for the difficulties I'm having. So I enjoyed the whole thing we talked about. But I'm having issues with the virtual skills you talked about. I don't have anyone, and I don't know if there is a way for me to learn. I guess she answered, she said I should check out Google, that there are some list of virtual skills there. We should pick from it. Then anyone you think you can work with, that should be the one you pick, right? But the thing is, after picking, if there is nobody to put me through, nobody to train me on how to use it, it will become very, very difficult. I don't know how you can help with that. That's my major concern.
Okay, that's an interesting one. So first, I'll probably give you an assignment to start with the one that allows you publish content. Start with opening a blog. When you start with, I feel like the blog one is quite interesting and exciting as well, right? You just copy a content and just drop there. Just keep doing a trial. Start with opening a blog. Let's start with that with you, right? And I don't know, in different, do you have a portal that sort of does feedback for this session?
Yes.
You know, I want Omokorede to take the blogging thing seriously. Okay. Just posting content and see how you can publish and see how you publish eventually. Open a random blog. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And just keep trying on it and testing your skills. You will be so interested in it that
okay, so Omokorede, what we'll do for you? Hello? Yeah, Omokorede, so what we'll do for you?
I think she's listening.
Yeah, take what Mercy has said. A colleague of mine is going to reach out to you after now. Abiodun works with the Bridge and is a tech guru. Okay, so I know Mercy will be very, very busy and she probably may not be able to handhold you every year and now. You get me? But like she said, take that task she has given to you. Biodun will follow up with you and then give her feedback on your progress. And then she will see how she can take it up from there. I don't know, Mercy, does that work out with you?
That does.
Okay.
And you are, where's the other lady? She's gone. Okay.
That's Aruk. Aruk is, I think Aruk, yes. No, she's still there, but her video is off.
Okay.
Okay, she's on now. Aruk is on now, yeah.
You and Aruk better your skills. Guess what? You never can tell. I'll probably have a job for you. So take it seriously.
Okay.
It's a pledge.
All right. Okay, so thank you very much, Mercy. I don't know if you want to do another final parting word. This is final. We're not coming back for any other questions again. So thank you very much. On behalf of the Bridge Leadership Foundation, we thank you first and foremost for honoring us with this time of yours. And beyond you sharing your experience and sharing your thought with us, you've even added more value by making yourself available to provide one or two opportunities as they come up, when they come up. So thank you very much for that. And we can also reach out to you from time to time. So we appreciate that. And we hope that when we call on you again in the nearest future, you'll be glad to oblige us with your presence.
And I like the vision of the bridge because it's something that the former governor set up, and I'm really proud of it because I keep seeing it's putting together young people. You know, I'm a big fan of the bridge. Yes, please, well done.
Thank you very much. Okay, so
Yeah,
we'll call
bye-bye.
it a day. Yeah, bye-bye.